Hey, just thought I'd take this opportunity while it was snowing to introduce my next story, NightDrive. It happened on a crazy night when I was at college. It was near Halloween, it wasn't snowing then. And yeah, genuinely think I was kind of lucky to survive that night. And yeah, just thought this would be a nice opening because, it's snowing. And yeah, hope you enjoyed the story. NightDrive.
He was drunk, really drunk. I remember him sat in the driver's seat, head slumped, in his white shirt, barely able to speak. But the gang of girls, all dolled up, had no problems at all. Nothing sobers a woman up, like not getting her own way. "You're an idiot, Peter," said one. I sat in the back of the car. The door was open, and I could hear the clatter of high heels on the concrete between the arguing about what these girls were going to do. The thing is, they weren't getting anywhere fast. The girls had been brought in 2 cars, from Gatesborough 20 miles away, to the college we all attended in Lindham, for a house party. I call it a house party, but it had been a flat party. One of these girls' friends had accommodation at the college, no doubt because her parents didn't know how to parent. Whether that was due to alcohol or drugs, which was their vice, was anyone's guess. I remember the bright artificial lights in the communal kitchen, various brands of vodka in attractive shaped glasses, surrounded by bright multicoloured 2-litre bottles of pop, which were surrounded by girls in bright multicoloured garments and glitter. And noise. Girls shouting, screaming, the vodka slowing down their brains and their natural judging measuring eyes and revealing a more genuine, not social engineered selves. They were loud, touchy, close. Taking selfies before selfies were a thing. Social media pioneers. What a juxtaposition in just 4 hours. It was dark now, and they didn't want to be near us. They hated us. 3 drunks sat in Peter's car, going nowhere fast. Why did he get so drunk? He knew he was meant to be taking us back. God, I hate him, said one. Which one, I don't know. Who cares? They were just a gang of superficial femininity. Now acting like men, swearing, threatening. They were ugly in 3 different ways. "Tom, you're going to have to take us. I have work tomorrow, and Shauna has college," said one. "I can't take all of you. There's 7 of you," he said. "You have to." "No. If I get pulled over, I'll lose my license," he said. "Oh, Jesus Christ," I heard her say, listening to her high heels approaching Peter's car, then opening the driver's seat door. "Right. Listen here. Wake up, you." I heard a crack, an open palm against skin. "Peter, you're taking us home. Right now. You hear me?" That's when I heard Crow in the passenger seat by Peter. "Oi, get off him." "How dare he do this to me? How dare he?" she said. I looked at my side and saw her, leaning into the car, her light blue eyes, her long blonde hair. "He ain't going anywhere," I said. She turned to me. Her eyes held mine for barely a second. I was of no worth or meaning to her, cast aside in her mind like a cloud in the sky on a summer's day, mostly meaningless but if anything a problem. She then slowed and looked into Peter's eyes I couldn't see, but I could imagine were moving in all kinds of funny ways. She smiled at him, then slowly sat on his lap. "Peter, babe, come on, you're okay. You just need to take it really slow. You can do this." I looked at her through the headrest. She was beautiful. On the surface, but I saw something vile. I could see it all. All her life she had got her own way, simply because of the proportions of her body. Men, especially 3 men her own age, not doing precisely what she wanted. She couldn't compute. System failure. She had tried simply asking. Now, she decided to rely on that gorgeous face a little, opening her eyes wide and looking deep into Peter's eyes, with a small smile that said, "Give me what I want, and I could be all yours." I watched Peter go a little rigid as he looked at her. "I think I'm going to be sick," he said, pushing her off him and falling out the car. They both fell out, Peter on his hands and knees, being sick into the pavement, and I listened to the terrible six calling him disgusting and laughing a little. That's when the beautiful blonde under the lamplight stared down at him. I looked at her long legs in high heels and watched her lip turn up, like she was looking at something below human. And that's when she screamed. Her chin went up and she screamed, up at the moon, and everyone turned to look at her as she closed her eyes and then began to cry. We all might have been between 17 and 18 years old, on the verge of hopefully becoming adults. But we were looking at a child, a toddler, and I contemplated, I wonder if she'll ever grow up, being that beautiful. Will she need to? Maybe she will always get what she wants. She will always be a beautiful toddler. "Right," said Tom, stood in front of his car. He got out his keys and got in his car and turned on the engine. The headlights come on and some of the girls started getting in. He winded down the window. "Come on, I'm taking you all back. Get in my car before I change my mind." I looked at that blonde with the mascara coming down her face and her expression changing in a blink to a smile. It was bizarre. Again, a feat I've only ever seen achieved by toddlers. She ran carefully in them heels to Tom's driver's side, kissed him on the cheek and said, "I love you, Tom," she said, getting in the car, getting in the back, like it was some kind of clown car. As Tom slowly drove by, he stopped and looked at us, mainly Peter, who was just about managing to stand up. "If anything happens to me, Peter, if the police stop me, I'm coming for you," he said, as Peter was wiping his lips. I heard the girls shout more obscenities at poor Peter, and I watched that car rev its engine and speed away into the night. Now, I don't remember who said it. Peter was back in the car, none of us feeling too well for wear. It was probably me. But anyway, one of us said, "You know, it would be funny if we drove past them now." This idea sent us into hysterics. The Mexican standoff added to the stakes. For an hour we had said no, no, and no. And this picture of us driving by them, taking over them and waving, just seemed to be the funniest idea anyone had ever come up with. "Let's do it. Oh my God, this is going to be hilarious," said Peter, the most animated I had seen him since we had left the party. I guess laughter is the best medicine. "We can't," I said. "We can. He's all right, aren't you? This'll be amazing," said Crow. "You can't, Peter," I said. "Mate, I'm fine, honest," he said, starting up the engine. I remember leaning forward from the back seat and looking deep into his eyes. "Look at me. You swear you're all right?" It was dark. I couldn't really see his eyes. The only thing that stuck out was that white shirt he wore constantly on nights out. "I'm fine, mate," he said. There was only one road Tom and the girls could be on. I remember Peter at first driving quick, but not too quick. As we got into the countryside, wondering why we had not caught them up already, Peter began to really put his foot down. I remember the blackness outside and the odd light whizzing by. The only other lights was the cool blue and small reds on the dashboard. I saw it rising, 80 miles per hour, 90 miles per hour, on small country roads. "Mate, Jesus Christ, slow down," I said, sat in the middle seat in the back. They began to laugh. "Shut up, you wimp, we're fine," said Crow. "I'm being serious, slow down, it's ridiculous." They just laughed some more. "Geez, man, chill, we're fine." I watched that needle rise, 100 miles per hour. "That's them," said Crow, pointing at the car lights in front. Peter steered right, into the open road, and our car began to pass them. I looked left through steamy car windows and saw too many pairs of eyes looking at us, all mouths agasp. Even me at this moment forgot about the speed. I pressed my face against the car window and pointed and laughed at them. The only face I do remember was Tom's, in the headlight, a scowl that overlooked us. But his head remained on the road, his hands on the steering wheel. He was in control. The same couldn't be said for our driver. 20 seconds later, the road turned left into a sleepy village, but we were hurtling towards it at around 80 miles per hour. The left couldn't be taken. It was impossible, and we were looking at a red brick wall. We screamed, swore. Impact was death. I don't know how, but Peter had sense to turn the car to the right, and we missed this wall by an inch. Magically, we was on a road, leading into blackness. The car screeched and came to a standstill. "My God," I said, as we sat there, hearts beating, thankful to be breathing. "Right, take it slow. We've done it. Just take it steady now. Get us home, okay?" "Okay," said Peter, sounding distant. He pressed on the accelerator, drove about 30 meters, and just didn't turn, and we drove straight into a ditch. Simple as that. He'd maybe been driving 25 miles per hour. It hurt. The car was stuck in a dike just off the road. We all struggled out the car. The bumper was off the front. I picked it up and threw it in anger into the blackness. "What did I tell you?" I said. Peter walked up to me, barely visible in the moonlight. All I saw was that white shirt. "You know how I mocked you earlier?" he said. "Well, now, I think you're pretty cool," he said. I could see his teeth smiling. My rage just dropped out of me, and I began to laugh. Crow came over, and we all started laughing. Sitting on the wet grass in the dark countryside, God only knowing where we was.
On a serious note, don't drink and drive. Stupid idea. Very lucky that night, and hope you enjoyed that story, and be back again for another one soon. Cheers guys, like and subscribe if you like it.